Okay, so I'm sitting here wanting to make a video and I'm like, what can I really record? You know, I don't have the female units. I don't want to do PvP without them. And then I'm also just like, oh man, you know, it's kind of, there's no good events. I mean, we have Hawk, but So I'm thinking, why not explain why I don't like gimmick fights? And I know I'm speaking to a very large audience when I say that. So stick with me and, you know, I'm going to explain why I actually don't like gimmick fights. And it's just really annoying to play. Okay, so let's start with Demonic Beast. I feel like starting off with Demonic Beast is pretty good. So Demonic Beast battle, you can see I haven't been playing because of the Bleach Mirror's High closed beta. I was prioritizing that. But the Demonic Beast battle itself, it's not a bad mode. I actually do think that this mode is kind of fun. It's not fun in the fact that it's enjoyable to have to replay all of the stages every single time you get to floor 3. I think it's kind of fun just to take different units into it and see if they can actually perform well. The only stages that I don't really like to play are Nidhogg and the Rat. And for the Rat, yes, it is gimmicky. Is it hard? No. There are a lot of units nowadays that can kind of just breeze through it. In fact, I haven't beaten floor 3, but I have actually like gotten pretty close, and that's just with me not even really caring. This is not a mode where or this is not a stage, right? The Rat. And I am talking about specifically with the Rat. Other people, if you know, they don't have many units, or you know, people that can breeze through Demonic Beast, whatever, they might not like Nidhogg. I don't mind Nidhogg. I think that the gauge thing that he has is super annoying to deal with, but I actually don't mind the effects that he's doing. I don't really care too much, but the actual gauge, super annoying to deal with. They need a unit that can bypass that gauge entirely, and then I wouldn't really have an issue with this mode at all. Or this stage. I keep saying this mode, but this stage, right? This stage at all. The Rat is the one that I'm like, I do not want to play this. And before anyone says anything, like, yes, I understand that it is kind of like a skill issue or a lack of trying. And it definitely is both of those things for me, because sometimes I forget what stages do what. I forget, you know, if he needs to be poisoned here. I forget if he needs to be moved here. But essentially, like, it's just like floor one, you kind of just want to, what is it? I mean, to be honest, you kind of just want to move him, to the left, is it? I think I can't. Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. I just don't care to remember. Floor 2, you kind of just want to burst him down. It's just, I don't want to remember the mode. But I definitely, you know, will beat it just when I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna actually, you know, try. I just can't really be bothered to replay it every single time. I can't do it. I can't. But gimmicky fights, they can be fun for some people, like figuring out what makes what work. I just honestly think the Rat probably just has the worst gimmicks of, no, I can't even say, no, I can't really say that, because the deer was really bad when it first dropped. The bird wasn't bad. It was just really annoying to have to hope and pray you didn't hit a certain threshold with the health. Then you had to back out, go back in once you failed. It was just a hot mess with the bird. The deer, genuinely, the deer was super annoying when it released, because it released and it wasn't nerfed. It had crazy damage. The debuffs it gave you were out of this world. You know, you had to you still have to follow the color pattern, but if you didn't, you basically lost. You had to reset. The damage cap it had at the time was like one of the wildest things, while having to focus on the color wheel. So the deer might actually still take the cake for the most annoying gimmick fight, but the Rat is right next to it, right? The Rat is right there, and the reason for it is mainly just because of the logs, like him having to move logs. Again, when you say it out loud, it kind of like, oh well, what's the problem? It's really just the problem that every phase kind of just has something different. You know, every floor, you know, you kind of have to remember what to do, like what debuffs do what. You know, you need these units, blah blah blah, because it's bleed, poison, and shock. So you kind of have to remember what units do what, blah, blah, blah. Floor 3, I think you still need every single type of debuff. I don't think floor 3 you can pass without having every single type of debuff. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But the rat, he is definitely annoying, but it's not the worst fight in the game. It's not. The worst fight in the game is this shit. I genuinely need to know the reasoning behind why they went so hard with Supreme Deity. I need to know. Is it because of the strength of the characters we have now? Is it because of you know, them wanting to try something out? I need to know. This mode, I don't think they tested out how difficult the mode actually is. And it's not more so the fact, like, yeah, it is difficult, but it's really just because of the RNG dependency. And RNG is a factor in pretty much every single gacha game. But the Supreme Deity, it's almost as if they made the RNG dependency for Demon King, and they were like, okay, let's up this by 2, right? Or like 3. Because now instead of just having to pay attention to the rules, you have to pay attention to the rules of the battle. You have to pay attention to what soldiers do what. You have to hope and pray that you have the right skills to do this. You kind of have to wish or hope and pray that, you know, you get the right 4th stage, because there are multiple different, I think it's 4 stages. It might be 5th. But I mean, there's just so much to this battle. And the fact that you can only do it once a week without having to sacrifice coins, it's so, like, it is actually so, like, look at the stat. And this is not me complaining, by the way. This is not me complaining, but look at the stats of these monsters. Can we show the stats? Will they let us? They might not let us see the stats, actually. Might have to go in game for that, but I digress. The stats are, like, look at this. Look at this, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So these, I believe, are all of these are all of the basically, like, who will appear based on, like, her gauge or whatever. It's kind of hard to understand, but, like, these are all the different types of enemies you can get. And then the enemies, all, you have to remember what they do. It's just like, why is this a thing? I don't understand. Then you have the potential to get the archangels. I don't know why they went so hard with this stage. This easily could have just been us fighting every single one of the 4 archangels. That could have just been it. And then at the end, you fight the Supreme Deity. Why are we facing multiple stages of minions, then having to potentially fight the archangels? It doesn't make any sense to me why they went as hard as they did with Supreme Deity. I think it is the most, like, just untested mode they've ever released. Like, ever released. I wasn't here for when they first released the Demon King, so I'm not gonna speak on that. And also the, you know, the Chaos Indra boss, I wasn't here for those battles, so I'm not gonna speak on those. But for everything that I was here for, I mean, this takes the cake. Like, this takes the cake over the deer. This takes the cake over any of the demonic beast battles that I was here for. You know, this is just, like, ridiculous. Like, I mean, granted, it is in-game content. I'll give you that if you want to argue. However, even the top players are like, this mode is terrible. Like, this is terrible, right? Who wants to play this every week? Like, even every week, who wants to play this? Because God forbid you forget how to do it because you can only do it once a week. I'm not sacrificing my platinum coins to do this. You're out of your mind if you think I'm doing that. So I'm just a very untested mode. I don't get it. But anyway, enough yapping. I'm gonna end the video, guys. Hopefully I gave you guys some content you guys can listen to in the background while you're cleaning, working, blah blah blah, exercising. Yeah, so let me know if you guys feel the same way I do with these gimmick fights. They're not necessarily, well, the Supreme Deity is hard, but as far as Rat goes, not necessarily tough. It's just really annoying to deal with the gimmicks. Same thing with the Supreme Deity, but that mode is very RNG heavy, hard, and gimmicky. So yeah, the triple threat right there. This will be your boy Dev signing out. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day.